Sophomore defender from London, England, number 15, Amy Underhill.
We'll just do it again.
Yeah.
Richard, freshman midfielder from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, number 20.
Talking about Ball State right now in fourth in the Mid-American Conference. Those 16 conference points for Ball State, just 2 ahead of Bowling Green. So if Bowling Green able to get a win over the Cardinals today would put them ahead of them in the conference standings, but both teams still kind of deadlocked, just separated by 2 after both taking wins earlier this week.
Absolutely, indeed. I actually had the opportunity to catch up with head coach Chris Fox before the game to talk about, one, the matchup heading to this one like you're talking about, but also the importance of this getting those 3 points, possibly jumping Ball State in the standings, and also the conditions that may play a factor in it. Let's take a look. Coach, you're obviously riding an historic unbeaten streak right now for the program, coming off of a win against NIU. But how big is 3 points this afternoon against the Ball State team where you guys currently stand in the standings?
Yeah, you got 2 teams competing for position right at the top of the table. Ball State having a fantastic season so far. A little bit of resurgence from last year, playing good soccer. It's going to be a really, really big game, really good game, 2 really good teams. Yeah, obviously result is what we need. Like we've probably dropped some points here or there in the last few games. Obviously great getting 3 points on the road against NIU and hoping we can do the same again today.
And then, Coach, you haven't had a lot of rain games here at home so far this year, so how will kind of the weather and conditions play a factor into this game?
I've had a lot of rain in general, right, this fall. The weather's been unbelievable. It's felt like Florida, but yeah, I mean, this is proper soccer weather. I think it's right now, if it stays like this, I think it's going to be good. It's going to make the surface slick. It's going to make the ball play fast. Hopefully that bodes well for us. But yeah, I think with where we're at right now, we're in good shape, and yeah, hopefully it doesn't play a factor.
Coach, thank you for your time.
Founded in the Midwest, Bowling Green State University is embracing innovation to push the norms of higher education. Academic programs that are in high demand, research that is relevant for our communities, partnerships that strengthen our economy. Nationally recognized for our student experience and home to one of the largest scholarship programs of its kind in the nation. We are a hardworking public university. Always striving forward, always for the public good.
If you missed this week's episode of Scenic Stops and Stories, you can stream the full episode for free anytime at WBGU.org/Scenic Stops.
Rainy, windy, a little bit cold, fall definitely in the air now for Bowling Green. Welcome back inside the broadcast. Lucas Kleinmeyer alongside Holden Ruck with you. Bowling Green and Ball State getting ready to kick off here. It's only 3 games remaining now for Bowling Green, just a couple for Ball State, but while 3 points are just at stake, they all matter even the same amount, but not even more now down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, really down to the wire in the conference schedule here, and for a team that's, had as many drawn results as the Falcons had, you'd really be looking to try to get that 3 points, get all of those as tournament time comes closer, because the margins are thin and growing ever thinner in the MAC.
So Bowling Green will be in the orange from head to toe. Ball State will be in their home white with black shorts and white socks from a team that is also coming off a win of their own. Bowling Green, as we mentioned, they're 13 unbeaten streak here heading into this one. Haven't lost since August 17th against Illinois. It'll be Mina Sam at the center circle to kick us off. Our head referee checks his watch. It'll be Bowling Green attacking from left to right to start this one. Whistle in the mouth, and we are officially underway here in Bowling Green. Falcons looking to make it 14 unbeaten in this one, but we'll see if Ball State looking to kind of break that streak. We have starting 11s here. We'll go through them first. First for Bowling Green, Peyton O'Malley and net. MEVU Tara, Audrey Oliver, Gabby Lamperty, Ella Kane, Evie Underhill, making her second start this season. Mina Sam, Haley Wolf, Jana Searles, Ellie Poole, and Emma Stransky runs out the starting 11 for head coach Chris Fox.
Yeah, and really looking at that defensive back line there is what sticks out to me. The Evie Underhill getting the second start there, and the experimenting they've done in the absence of Taylor Green.
Indeed, Jana Searles has moved to that center back spot next to Lamperty, which is an interesting wrinkle so far this game, and also one coming into this one. We do have Ball State starting 11s as well as the Cardinals looking to get on a counterattack quickly. It's snuffed out here from Searles. So starting 11 for first-year head coach for the Cardinals, Andy Stutz, who has really turned around the Ball State program in just 1 year for a team that finished 11th in the conference last year. They're 8-5-2 overall. If you look at the starting 11, Izzy Rose, Delaney Caldwell, Addie Chester, Lexi Watkins, Delaney Hearn, Tori Monaco, Fiona Killian, Kira Verberg, Gira Isaacson, Jordan Klassen, and Katie Palante rounds out the starting 11 as there's an attack on the way for the Cardinals. Sam has a defending to do. It's not clear convincingly here from Bowling Green. This is picked up from Lexi Watkins, cuts on her left foot, and that one's going to just roll into the grasp of O'Malley. So now, with all that being said, your thoughts on Ball State starting 11?
Yeah, I mean, you look at that starting 11, and the name that's going to stick out is going to be number 10, Addie Chester, the forward. Kind of an Iron Man of sorts for the Cardinals, playing in 33 games for Louisville, different Cardinals, and then playing every game with Ball State in her time there.
Hometown player, Muncie, Indiana, returning to her hometown team, and she's been unbelievable since being for Ball State. So it'll actually be a corner kick, first one for Ball State this afternoon. And then swinging ball, flatted in, and then cleared away from the Falcons. First to meet that one and put that one back in play was Killian, but turned back over to the path of Stransky. Looking to play along, looking to get to Ellie Poole. And Palente off her line and just punt that one away. We talked about Emma Stransky. We'll actually hear more about Stransky later on the broadcast from Chris Fox. 7 goals this year, 4 game winners, and second in the MAC in goals. The only player that has scored more than her this year is Addie Chester.
And hard to overstate the value of those game-winning goals, especially really coming up with those connections in crunch time for the Falcons.
There's Searles looking long for the path of Stransky. That one is one there from Verberg. Down to the path here of Watkins, trying to get around Underhill, making her first start in quite a while. Lamperty slips there on the grass. Here comes an attack here for the Cardinals. Inside the box here, a good opportunity, and trying to cross this one across the 6. And Underhill just going to clear that one off of Watkins. It'd be a goal kick, so Bowling Green survives there.
Yeah, and a wet day out there on the pitch, you have to wonder how that may play in. A little slip there for the Falcons, but ultimately does not cost them.
That was number 16, Tori Monaco there on that right wing for Ball State. Thought about potentially putting a strike on goal there, but elected to play the unselfish pass.
And Monaco, the assist on one of the 2 goals for the Cardinals in their game against Toledo earlier this week, an assist on the goal by Addie Chester, so 2 of their big contributors there.
Here's Lampurdy. She's been a staple in that backline since coming over from West Virginia this year. She's had a couple partners. Taylor Green, worth mentioning, is available off the bench. His dress was in warm-ups. They've had Christy Franson in there past couple of games this season, but now it's been Searles' game. Butera looking long for Wolf. It's going to fall to Poole. Physical match there, but it'll be an orange and brown throw. Bowling Green will play it back out of the back line, and they've gone direct at times early in this first half. They'll go again. Looking long for Poole. Nice first touch to bring it down. Poole will take a strike on goal, and that one is just a little bit too high. That's kind of the spaces Poole likes to occupy a little bit on both the left and right wing. It was a good first touch to bring it down there, but just couldn't put that one on frame. Goal kick for Palante. Poole will earn another throw in there from that far side. Ellie Poole, the most veteran player on this team, a 6-year forward.
The Falcons really presenting a lot of opportunities on the Cardinals defending side early in this one.
And they've gone direct. Here has been off the foot of that play right there, Searles or Butera. Butera scored and that 1-1 draw against Miami last Sunday from the spot. This one was looking long for the run of Stransky. It's going to run right to Klassen. He'll just go out of play for a goal kick. Well, these two sides definitely don't have any love loss between each other, Holden. They met a couple times in the MAC championship games a long time ago. 2020, Ball State lost to Bowling Green in that game. And then if you go all the way back to 2018, Bowling Green defeated the Cardinals 5-4 in Pens after 1-1 in regulation. So different coaching staff, different players, but definitely some history between these two sides.
Certainly not the familiarity that you might have with, the meetings being that long ago for these two programs, but nevertheless, some significant matchups between these programs historically.
It's worth mentioning Ball State did make the 22 MAC championship game, as this one flied in the box is headed down from Searles. And a good defensive play from Stransky to come back and get the Falcons out of danger. Looking to spray the run of Ella Kane. Just a bit too far. Speaking of just a bit too far, that pass just a little bit too much on that one. Goes out of play for Bowling Green throwing.
And an interesting one there from Palante, who's started the last 6 games for the Cardinals, but been one of 3 goalkeepers to see time this year. Definitely an interesting thing to watch there for them.
Yeah, they've had a lot of goalies this year for Ball State. You really don't see that a lot in just Division I soccer. And you like to just see like one keeper and they kind of just stick with it. But they've played down 3.
It's definitely the kind of thing where you think the continuity is something the team likes to be able to lean on and rely on, but
Stransky there able to earn a corner kick off that long pass. The team's leading goal scorer, so this will be a set piece for Bowling Green, and it will be Butera to take.
And early in this matchup, a great opportunity to have a chance with the set piece and hopefully for the Falcons try to connect and get an early lead.
Well, Stransky and Bowling Green have had success on set pieces. You go all the way as back as just this past Thursday against NIU. That's how their goal came about. So this will be the left foot of Emmy Butera. And swinger into the box. Palente punched it out. Stransky's still there. And now whistle finally blows. A lot of contact there inside the 6-yard box, and it'll go against Bowling Green.
A good effort there, but a nice stop by the Cardinals defense there to keep them out.
Get another look at this one, and just kind of seeing like a lot of bodies hit the floor, a lot of pushing, shoving, and ultimately the foul goes in favor of Ball State. Ball State look into the direction of Watkins. They'll go back to O'Malley. Nice patience there from O'Malley to find Kane. Ball State providing some press, and we saw Miami do that as well last Sunday. That caused Bowling Green a lot of trouble building out of the back line last week. And this one over the top, and Ellie Poole is going to be just offsides. But you're seeing kind of what Bowling Green likes to do here in this first half. They're playing very direct. They're kind of skipping the midfield a lot of times, and they're kind of trying to play along to both Poole and Kane, trying to use their speed to get behind the Ball State back line.
Absolutely, really leaning into the strengths of this team, the speeds of those forwards, as you said, and trying to, be a bit aggressive with those opportunities to try to get that early lead, which I think would then allow them to, kind of settle back in a little bit to the more possession-heavy style we know they're capable of as well.
Just Clausen looking up to the directions of Watkins. Izzy Ross, Izzy Ross, pardon me, that first couple of touches on that ball. It's back to the Lamperty. And eventually retain here for Ball State. That one's blocked off the back as Stransky providing some pressure.
Nice effort there, just trying to contest and force a mistake on the Cardinals.
One's off the foot of Sam. Be another throw-in. Both teams trying to find their footing, and it still is going to be interesting to see how this weather just does play a factor with how fast the ball is going to move on that grass. But Oliver looking over the top for Kane. That one just a bit wide of her run, and Palente will just clear it away. But you heard Fox talk about a little bit at the top of the broadcast. They haven't had a lot of rainy games at home at all this year. So definitely going to be an adjustment.
No, and I mean, I think as a team, in those situations, you're never, relying on that to impact the game or, changing your approach necessarily. But it's also hard to act as though that might not play a factor.
Absolutely. Eddie Chester there providing some pressure up top. Mac leader and goals. As you get a close-up here of Peyton O'Malley, one of the standout goalies in all Mid-American Conference this season. Definitely going to be in contention for a first-team, second-team selection, but goalkeeper of the year as well.
And seriously, how great has O'Malley been in her young career?
She's been fantastic. Just in her sophomore season and her first full year starting, you mentioned she took over from the former Falcon Madison Vukas mid-season, and ever since then it's been her job to lose. There's also a close-up of the other goalie for Ball State, Palente, one of 3 this season, sophomore from Westfield, Indiana. This one's going to flick over the top as Underhill's going to chase. That was Chester providing. Underhill as well to keep this in play. Nice spin here from Kane. Just going to get around that last defender. Here's Isaacson trying to get it up to Watkins. Deflected off the foot of Chester. That's Watkins getting it right back. Taking out 2 Falcons, and that's Ella Kane coming back defensively to help out her fullback. Nice full ball there, and Stransky just timing her line just a little bit too fast.
A really good effort by the Falcons there close to the sideline, managing to turn it around and, push the ball back to the midfield where it otherwise could have been a dangerous attack from the Cardinals.
Well, she's been active early in this game, and with the form she's currently in, that's almost to be expected. Searles heads this one up. Almost fell to the foot of Chester. The Lamperty put a foot in. Well, nutmeg there from Watkins on Underhill, but Underhill does well to recover and clears it away. Now this time, look at the run of Stransky, who is onside. There's one defender to beat. Stransky got a touch, and that was Clausen. Last defender there from Ball State to poke that one away. Just keep it out for a Bowling Green throw.
Great awareness by Stransky there, and a great job by Underhill to clear the ball, giving that opportunity and forcing the Cardinals defense to just push the ball out of bounds and kind of reset. Caught on their back foot there.
So the Underhill to take this throw, and the only Cardinals you have somewhat up the field is Delaney Caldwell and Addie Chestner, the 2 striker duo, one of the best in the conference. Butera gets this one back to Underhill. Lamprey go back to Searles. Bowling Green will force this one left. Here's Haley Wolf trying to keep this one in play and can. Bowling Green, now this is when they're trying to be patient and try to break teams down. Ball State doing a good job switching side to side. Line breaking pass, Searles to Butera.
And that calculated, patient approach, definitely a large part of the results they've seen this year.
Here's Audrey Oliver. Gets it to Kane. Kane guarded by 2 Cardinals, trying to get around both of them. Got by 1, but cleared away there from Isaacson. It's back to the foot. Butera thinks about a shot, and that one just wide of goal. Has one of the strongest foot of anyone on the team, both right and left foot, and not surprised there she took a crack at it.
And what a nice redirection there off the head to set up that shot attempt for Butera. You know, a little off target, but great persistence by the Falcons there. It's always a wonder with this Falcons team when you're going to see more of that kind of aggressive persistence in pushes at the net as compared to falling back and resetting with that, you know, talented midfield and back line.
Butera just kicking that one out of play. Your Cardinal throw, and haven't had anything that's been on target yet from either side that's really tested both O'Malley or Palente. As this one over the top, looking for Kane. Palente off her line. Here's Isaacson trying to get around Underhill. Underhill does well, earns a throw-in. Worth noting too with the absence of Taylor Green, and again she is available for selection off the bench this afternoon. They've had to kind of reshuffle the back line a little bit. It was Franson for majority of the time since she's been out since that second half of Western Michigan, but now you're seeing Underhill get a chance to kind of shine.
Yeah, and I think it serves a good purpose. You know, it's good to know for that team's morale that one of your leaders, you know, one of your captains, Taylor Green, is potentially available. But at the same time, having Underhill get the opportunity to, you know, play and develop and find her role within that back line is incredibly valuable for the Falcons.
Yeah, it's a team that has played 26 players this season. Fox has not been afraid to use the depth of his team, and it's worked out in his favor. That's a good defensive play there from Searles. Gets it to Oliver. Oliver at the pool to the left wing, and she's just off sides. And again, another good look there from Bowling Green, but a couple times there, just been timing their runs a little bit too quick.
Unfortunate for them not being able to get that timing, but I think there's definitely optimism right now if you're the Falcons. You know, they're setting up these runs and, you know, coming up just a little bit off on the timing. But, I mean, if they're able to do that consistently, you would think that they're going to find the net sooner than later.
Absolutely, indeed, as Palante will get this one up and away, but Bowling Green again winning it right back. They've had a lot of possession here in the past couple of minutes. Stransky trying to get it back up top to Kane. It goes to the foot of Delaney Ahern. But then just, again, a quick giveaway there for Ball State, and all of a sudden the ball's right back to the feet of Bowling Green.
And you can kind of see that style of ball that Bowling Green likes to play with the time they've possessed it comparatively.
Oliver Kane trying to win back the ball. Underhill puts a foot in it. Also looking to break on the counter. That was Caldwell trying to slip Chester through. Just a bit too strong, Delaney Caldwell. Senior from Chelsea, Michigan. She's tied for 11th in Ball State history with goals. She's number 16 Ball State history with 15 points in a season. If you go all the way back a couple of years ago, she was a 2022 MAC Freshman of the Year and also an All-MAC's second team selection that year, starting at every game this season. That one just a bit too strong there for Butera. Ball State will go quick. Lamprey will just deal with it away. Throw it again was looking for Chester. Wolf will just dump it off. Oliver in a cage match in the midfield. And a foul will go in favor of Ball State.
Tough spot for that to happen for the Falcons.
Indeed, this could be a set piece opportunity here for Ball State to put something in the mixture and try to create something out of nothing. Outside of your screen, you have a bunch of Cardinals lining up. It was behind the Bowling Green line, but now they're kind of mixed in between. Foot it into the box, flicked on, header in, and it's 1-0 Ball State. And the flag goes up. It was offside. They thought it was the opener. It was a couple of headers that just went right inside the 6. But Bowling Green saved it from the offside flag.
Certainly impressive to watch there from the Cardinals, but offsides nevertheless.
It was a great flick on there. First from Clausen to find that Addie Chester. That would have been another goal for the leading scorer in the MAC, but again, timing her run just a bit early there, but a good set piece and good plan there from Ball State. Executed that pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, the double header doesn't look like you could execute that much cleaner, save for the offsides.
O'Malley under some pressure. Caldwell providing some pressure. Here's Searles. Gets it out to Underhill. Good recognition here from Bowling Green to get out of it. Still in a fight, and Underhill will be called for the foul on Watkins.
In Underhill, not a lot of playtime for the Falcons this year compared to some of the other starters on the day, but plenty of playtime in her career playing at St. Bonaventure last year, playing in 16 out of 18 games with 15 starts. So definitely a seasoned player nevertheless.
Rain's starting to come down a little bit here at Cochrane Stadium. It was a beautiful day yesterday for the athletic events, and definitely a day that feels like fall, but a rainy fall day nonetheless.
And the turnaround from a sunny day yesterday to the overcast feels very on brand for what Bowling Green fans have come to expect.
Yep. Thrown into the direction of Caldwell, and we'll say it went out of bounds. And he'll go back to Searles. So now we're almost to the midway point of the first half, Holden, and I want to get your initial thoughts on both how this is played out now. An offside goal doesn't count for Ball State, but Bowling Green has probably dominant possession in this game, but haven't really created anything on target yet.
Yeah, I mean, as much as both teams haven't been especially on target, it feels like the margins have been very thin for both defenses. It feels like it could be a multi-score game, or, you could be a goal apiece by now with, some of those offsides calls in either direction. And I'm definitely interested to see how this progresses because, like you said, they haven't been very on target, but it hasn't felt far removed from realistic scoring chances.
Well, Bowling Green can make something out of this with this foul. We'll take it quick and play it back, and we mentioned the potential return of Taylor Green. If my eyes don't deceive me, I do believe that is her by the substitute bench. So that's really good news for Bowling Green and really good news for the Falcons. They'll go over the top. Just looking for Poole, and a physical battle there with Clausen. And they'll say it went out of play for a goal kick. Oh, that would have been a really bad turnover for Ball State in their own defensive half.
Absolutely, definitely the kind of mistake that they can't afford in a game this pivotal.
So here comes the return of Taylor Green. Got subbed out the second half against Western Michigan. It was a collarbone, had surgery. Now back into play just after removed by a handful of weeks, maybe close to a month return, and now she's back into play. They'll move Searles to her natural right back spot, and they'll put Taylor Green partnering next to Lamperty and the two center backs.
And so the devoted Falcon fans here in Cochrane Stadium definitely excited about the return of Green there.
Yeah, absolutely, especially with the final games down the stretch. This one over the top looking for Watkins. That's Searles in a foot race. Watkins kept that one in play and gets by Searles. Dropping it back. Chester, and that one Takes a deflection. That's going to be a corner kick. And how about a hustle play there from Lexi Watkins?
Good effort there to set up the opportunity for the Cardinals here.
Be another corner kick here. That's his Killian. We will take this one. So some defending here to do once again here for Bowling Green. This one floated to the back post. Lamparty strong to win that header, and then it ricochets off the face of Clausen out for a goal kick.
Not quite how they drew it up there, but Falcons able to get out of that corner kick opportunity.
I mean, rightfully so. You talk all about Taylor Green. Lamparty has been absolutely spectacular this year in that back line since coming over, and she's proven it there. She's one of the best aerial defenders and attackers for that in the entire MAC. Has scored a couple goals from corner kicks this season, has a couple game winners, along with clean sheets.
I was going to say, among defenders for the Falcons, the highest in point total, and one of the top 5 or so on the team in points. You know, definitely significant offensive contributions from a defender.
Here's Butera. Going to connect that pass to Wolf, who made a run up forward. See a couple Cardinals thinking about pressing. That's Chester and Caldwell. We get it out to Green. However, Butera, that's Izzy Rose, excuse me, Ross, trying to provide some pressure.
Ball State's definitely showing a lot of pressure, but they're not always pressing all the way with that front line, which is interesting to me.
Butera, nice ball over the top, looking for Stransky or Kane, but Palante really smart off her line there to collect that one. That's a sign of a confident goalkeeper right there coming off her line.
And for a goalkeeper with as few starts as she has for them this year, definitely something that the Cardinal faithful would be happy to see.
Ball State's had a little bit more possession here in the last couple of sequences, trying to get something on goal for O'Malley. This one on the top for Caldwell. Green has some defending to do. Just clear it away. This one back here for Ball State, looking for Watkins. There's Mina Sam tracking all the way back. Searles gets it to Green. A lot of Cardinal attackers there, either flirting with the press or going to press. Stransky does well to come back and becomes an outlet. Kane's pass is deflected. Sam gets it up for Oliver. Oliver looking for the run of Poole to the left side. Poole, can she get on this one? She can, and the shot is on frame. And a nice diving save, her first one of the afternoon for Palante.
A good look for the Falcons there. One of, I would say, their best today, but definitely a nice save there, you know, diving outside of the box there.
Well, Poole felt the closing of Verberg on her. Selected to do a one-time shot. But a good save there from Palante. And that kick just sails all the way out on play for a O'Malley goal kick.
I have to wonder about the approach there and just booting it the length of the field. You know, it feels kind of wasteful for the Cardinals to not, you know, take their time. I know that may be playing into the style that Bowling Green likes to play more, you know, kind of controlling that tempo. But at the same time, that feels better than just giving the possession away to the other team.
Another sub coming in for Bowling Green, Isabella Mazzaferro. Checking in for Ella Kane, so like-for-like change on the right wing. No subs yet for Ball State in this game, and only just a couple for Bowling Green, but as I say that, there is a Cardinal getting ready to come in. We'll get a moment to see who that is, as Green will bring it up.
Thank you, sir. 9 for 6.
Long ball again, looking for the run. This time as a Pharaoh, the fresh legs. And they'll say this one goes out of bounds for a BG throw.
Okay, thank you.
Another clearance there for Ball State. They'll get a throw in closer to the net of Ball State. Butera all the way back to Green. Butera again inside a foot pass, switch to Poole. Green out wide here to the right-hand side of Searles. Mazzaferro, Oliver. And Bowling Green has no problem here, kind of just like recycling it along the back line. If Ball State's not going to press, Green's going to dribble all the way up. Flick on, and good clearance there from Ball State, but another throw-in.
Really good job by Taylor Green there, creating something from that back line and pushing the ball, you know, forcing the Cardinals to put it out of bounds, giving Bowling Green the throw in there.
Searles looking for an option. Gets it to Stransky. Stransky does well to keep this one in play. Cross along the grass, and that one just punted away once again there from Ball State. That's another clearance there from Verberg. And we've seen kind of the early part of that first half. Bowling Green kind of just wanted to play direct to break Ball State down, but now they're being more methodical and trying to break them down with their passing, and they have no problem just kind of passing it from left to right. And Ball State's not going to try and press them.
And it does feel like they're keeping the Cardinals on the back foot with that as well. So many opportunities where the Cardinals have to just put it out of bounds, give Bowling Green another throw and another chance to pass back and reset, and certainly seemingly would wear them down.
Turnover here from Bowling Green, a chance for Caldwell and the Cardinals to break. Here's Caldwell, surrounded by multiple orange jerseys. That was Sam who provided the initial contact and taken away from Lamperty.
Nice opportunity for Ball State, but ultimately just outnumbered on that attempt there.
Butera out wide to Lamperty. Should go direct here this time, looking for Poole. Poole gets her head on it. Heads it down, Stransky. Out to Oliver. Oliver to Searles. Thinks about a cross. Is going to put this one in. And Palente just going to have to collect that one.
Ultimately, no payoff there for the Falcons, but I like the approach on that one for sure. Really aggressive push. And then just the deep attempt. You know, at some point, you got to take the shots at the goal. So I don't hate that from the Falcons.
Oliver wins that header off the goal kick again. Looking for the run of Stransky. That's Klassen who'll just let it go out of play. And now the ball's out of play. We have a couple Cardinals getting ready to come in. Emily Roper, senior from Carmel, Indiana, will check in. Justin Fernu will come in, freshman from Wind Lake, Wisconsin. Will also check in for Ball State.
And Emily Roper for Ball State, no stranger to competition, has come off the bench in 15 of their games this year, played every game in the 24 and 23 seasons for the Cardinals, so definitely a seasoned veteran there.
And for And a slippage there along the back for Bowling Green, and that's the opening goal. Well, we talked about the wet conditions playing a factor. It's Addie Chester that gives the Cardinals a 1-0 lead. And for the second straight home game in a row, Bowling Green will go down a goal in the first half.
And an unsurprising name there to be scoring the goal. The Mac's leading scorer, Addie Chester, tallies another one for the year.
And that's just really unfortunate there from Taylor Green. You talk about first game back in action, just a wet surface there, just slipping on the grass. And Addie Chester there, right there, picking up the pieces there. Getting her 10th goal of this season. Matches her total from last year with a couple games left to play. The former Louisville Cardinal we talked about, and the whole town hero, as it's been the past couple games from Muncie, and it gives the Cardinals a big lead on the road. So how will Fox and Bowling Green now respond? A team that's so good playing out of the back, and they almost make no mistakes at all building out, but, you know, talk about how the conditions are going to play a factor there, and I think we saw an example of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a team that makes their opponents play Bowling Green's game. You know, they set the tone and pace and how they want the game to go, and, you know, that's why they've gone unbeaten for 13 straight, but we'll have to see how they adapt here.
This one might break for Chester again. O'Malley is way off her line to just punt it away. I think that might have took a touch off of Verberg. It did. It will be a Bowling Green throw. The Falcons now will try to equalize here before the half.
And I love the decisiveness there from O'Malley to just clear it out of the way, give the chance to reset, even if the Falcons hadn't retained possession.
Green gives it to Butera. Ball State 16 points, Bowling Green 14 points. A win for BG could put them above Ball State. But they got to get a win here. Now they're behind a goal. Oliver crossing the box off the shin of a Ball State Cardinal. That's a late challenge there from Mina Sam. And doesn't appear a card to be coming out, at least yet. Well, no, that was a foul on Izzy Ross. We'll take another look at it.
Yeah, pretty clear and noticeable there. Understandable call from the refs.
Just a little bit late timing her challenge there, and I think lucky no card given there. Usually when you see refs stop the clocks, usually that means a caution's being handed out. Not the case here. Here's Oliver heading it down to the direction of Searles. Nice 1-2 pass. Searles now has some green space in front of her. Stransky, heavy first touch. Trying to get it back to Searles. It works out in their way. Gives it to Oliver. Mazzaferro will keep this one in. Oliver, that pass took a touch off of Cardinal. That was off of Furneaux. Here's Wolf under some pressure. That was being provided there from Monaco. Another throw for the orange and brown.
Falcons pressing confidently now, all of their backers past the half line.
That one just a little bit too far off the foot of Oliver. Gets it all the way to O'Malley. Team press being provided there from the sub Emily Roper. 3 goals, 3 assists this year, and now 16 games off the bench. Here's Green to Searles. Looking for Mazzaferro down the right wing. Really good defending there from Isaacson. Using her body there not to let Mazzaferro get around her. Will be out for a goal kick, and another Cardinal sub will be coming in here.
Nice aggressive push by the Falcons, but I mean, like you said, very well defended to make sure that the ball gets back going the other way. Try to slow down or cut into, I guess, these Falcon possessions that have felt like they've been on the offensive a lot more than not in this one.
Well, number 10, Addie Chester, who got her 10th goal, will get a breather, and Kaylin Valleau will come in for the Cardinals for the final 7 minutes. There's Sam in a physical contest there, kind of shoulder-to-shoulder challenge there with Killian, and it'll be a foul on Sam. That's a couple now for her. She might only have 1 or 2 more left before she might be shown a yellow. Nice one there in the aerial from Lamperty. Running out of room there on that far side for Ball State. Good throw in for Wolf.
And with a star like Chester coming out of the game for Cardinals here in these waning minutes of the first half, you have to wonder if their approach changes at all. You know, do we try to ride this lead into the half and then, you know, go from there, or if they stay aggressive?
It's just a miss-hit pass there, and I think the way Bowling Green played, I think they're going to try to be aggressive and try to get an equalizer before the halftime break happens, but Ball State's backline has been very strong and pretty much defending anything that's came inside their 18-yard box.
And I think you're right. I think if you're Ball State here, you want to just get into the half and protect your lead more than worrying about trying to connect more.
Searles looking long. It's cut off midway. And this one's going to break here for the Cardinals. Here's Furno trying to get it to Roper. He's a little bit behind her, and Lamperty will get the foul on her from Roper.
You had to think that was going to get called there watching in real time.
Butera looking for an option. That's one there from Ahern. How about the Butera there winning that header? No foul called. Oliver with a late challenge. There will be advantage played here for Ball State. Here's Roper. Nice through ball here. Wolf's got some defending to do. Cross inside the box. And Green just trying to put off there Valleau, and then at the end of the hands of O'Malley.
I'll stand corrected on what I said for the Cardinals there. No lack of aggressiveness on that attack.
Nice move here from Searles. Just gets out to Oliver. Now Sam. Switch to find Poole. Took a little bit of a weird first touch, and Palante comes to collect. Stransky kind of just bundles over a couple Cardinals and little smiles and I won't say handshakes exchange, but you know, maybe
Pleasantries.
Pleasantries. Maybe some Christmas cards in December. We'll find out. So just about under 4 minutes left here for Bowling Green. Still down a goal, but what things do you want to see either Fox make or Bowling Green as a team do on the field to possibly get themselves back in this one?
You know, I feel like the Falcons have been doing a lot of things right to keep this close. And, you know, it is a close, just a one-score game right now. I think the Falcons really need to just focus on cleaner opportunities in the middle of the box. You know, they're not taking a lot of shots from, you know, farther outside, and they've spent plenty of time on the attack. I think they just need to clean things up in the middle a little bit, and they may be in better shape.
This goal kick takes a bounce because right to the foot of Mazzaferro. Butera left-footed switch here to the left wing for Poole. Good first touch there. Kind of a 50-50 shoulder shove. It'll go in favor of the Cardinals. Well, coming up at halftime, we will have highlights from the first half. Fox will talk about Emma Stransky, second leader in the conference in goals, and been one of the standouts for Bowling Green this season. We'll have a couple looks at the upcoming schedules for both these teams, the remaining few games they have here. We're just a couple weeks before the MAC tournament in Columbus at historic Crew Stadium on Halloween weekend starting November 1st. This is a nice look here for Bowling Green. Oliver Mazzaferro cross along the box. It's met there first from the Cardinals. Oliver puts it back in play for Stransky. Could find it. Gets right to Poole, and a shot on the rebound to the back post is covered up from Palente. I do believe that was Haley Wolf there crashing there on that far post.
And a nice final effort there, putting one more foot on the ball, trying to connect something there. But Palante had been very reliable in the early going for the Cardinals.
Yeah, foul on Oliver, so maybe one last big chance for Bowling Green to get an attack. Head Coach Stutz telling his entire team to get back behind the ball. Green looking for Searles. Green gets it right back from Mazzaferro. And just dumping that one away was a Hearn.
Really important push from Green there to keep this attack going, as we're now under a minute here in the first half.
Got under a minute left remaining. Searles
10 second
to,
countdown.
to Green. Now Lamperty.
But if you can count down. Yeah. I forgot to tell him about the 1 minute, but I reminded
Searles.
him of the 10 second.
Mazzaferro, Oliver, nice passing here from Bowling Green. Searles inside the box, cross along the grain. It's the run of Haley Wolf, whose shot is going to be saved. Sprawling to the right, diving was Palente. That's another good look there. That's the left back for Bowling Green coming all the way up to put another shot on goal.
And a great opportunity, Haley Wolf there in a really great position, just unable to connect, not getting a lot of power behind the shot there. And it looks like they'll carry this deficit into the half here.
So for Bowling Green, we'll have some work to do in half number 2. A goal from Addie Chester, getting her 10th of the year, has Ball State up 1-0 at Cochrane Stadium. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have highlights here from Coach Fox and upcoming schedules. Don't go anywhere. Listen to BGSU Women's Soccer taking on the Ball State Cardinals here on WBGU PBS.
Founded in the Midwest, Bowling Green State University is embracing innovation to push the norms of higher education. Academic programs that are in high demand, research that is relevant for our communities, partnerships that strengthen our economy. Nationally recognized for our student experience and home to one of the largest scholarship programs of its kind in the nation. We are a hard-working public university, always striving forward, always for the public good.
a bold approach to engineering. At Bowling Green State University, our engineering degrees fuse the science of traditional engineering with technology and hands-on skills. This combination is what employers are looking for in the up-and-coming fields of robotics, advanced manufacturing, and systems engineering. It's why our graduates find jobs and why BGSU stands out. Don't just get a degree. Secure your future at BGSU.
If you missed this week's episode of Scenic Stops and Stories, you can stream the full episode for free anytime at WBGU.org/Scenic Stops.
Founded in the Midwest, Bowling Green State University is embracing innovation to push the norms of higher education. Academic programs that are in high demand, research that is relevant for our communities, partnerships that strengthen our economy. Nationally recognized for our student experience and home to one of the largest scholarship programs of its kind in the nation. We are a hardworking public university, always striving forward, always for the public good.
Back here at Cochrane Stadium, halftime score 1-0 Ball State from a goal in the 34th minute from Addie Chester. The Cardinals have a lead over Bowling Green, the 30th all-time edition between these two programs. Lucas Kleinmar, Holden Ruck alongside with you for a halftime report. We have some highlights we would like to get through in the first half. There were a few for Bowling Green and Ball State, but the big one was obviously the goal.
Absolutely. Definitely a good opportunity there, but, you know, not quite able to connect for the Falcons. Really nice deflection off the header on that one as well. Butera just barely able to not connect. In this first half, the goalkeeper for Palante for Ball State, really impressive so far.
Indeed, and that was a goal where we thought Ball State actually got the opener in the early part of the first half, but a couple of headers there just kind of timed his run a little bit too far off.
We said it at the time, too, but, I mean, just really good execution on that last one.
And that was one of the best opportunities of the half there. Ellie Poole there just doing a one-time shot there on frame, and here comes the goal.
Definitely tough break there for Taylor Green in her first game of action back there. You know, a little bit of a deep breath watching her go to the ground, but, you know, quickly back up and rallying.
Yeah, and you see Haley Wolf there, actually, of all people for Bowling Green, making a run-up from the left-back spot, put a couple shots on target there just to get something happening there. And you saw there on that last attempt, they were looking for the number 9 for Bowling Green, Emma Stransky, who has 7 goals, leads the team this season in that category. Actually had an opportunity to catch up with head coach Chris Fox about Stransky and her performance all season long. Let's take a look at that.
You don't have to put a house on.
Now for halftime. Mastransky, second in the MAC in goals, came up big against Thursday night against NIU. I think 4-game winning goals now on to the year. How big has she been kind of this season, but also down the stretch for you guys?
Yeah, I think for Emma, right, like it's been a change of position as we've spoken about before. Like she came in and played as a winger her first couple of years and then moved it to striker this spring. And this was the reason why. We felt like she had goals in her. She knows where the goal is. She's clinical. Her movement's really good. Her goals have been incredibly important. And I think she's threatened in every single game. You know, I think for her, she probably would have felt she could have scored more. And so, yeah, I would love to see her come up big and do well today.
Coach, thank you so much again.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, sir.
So you heard there a little bit from Fox Ostransky, who has had quite a junior season for the Orange and Brown. And one final thing before we begin the second half action, I should say, we do have a look at the upcoming schedules from both Bowling Green and Ball State. But first for Bowling Green, which is 3 matches left, and then after this one, you go on the road to Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean, a tough ask there. You know, going to Buffalo, Buffalo sitting the highest in the conference with conference points 21. I mean, that's about as tough a draw as you can have at this point in the season.
Haven't lost at home yet this year, as well as the rain starts to come down here at Bowling Green. You finish at home at Akron here next Sunday, which should be 3 points when you look at the way Akron's season has kind of just unfolded. Then you finish at UMass, the first time you played the team since the Mid-American Conference, but a far trip, and of October, Massachusetts. That's definitely a tough ask there for Bowling Green.
And Massachusetts, they're kind of chomping at the heels a little bit of Bowling Green, just one spot below them in 7th in the standings right now. With a win, if Bowling Green were to come away with no points today, Massachusetts would be tied with them in the standings, so could be big implications in Massachusetts for that regular season finale.
And for the Cardinals in their final couple of games, they are at home for Miami for their home finale. They finish out at NIU. But if things go the way it's been going here for this game, they can find themselves in one of those top spots and get a good draw in the MAC tournament.
Absolutely. You know, it stands right now, Ball State in 4th. You know, if they're able to come away with the 3 points today, that would be huge for them, pushing into, the final push to the tournament, like you said. And Northern Illinois, a team that Bowling Green just beat, not one of the premier teams in the conference. Miami's a tricky one. That's a team between Bowling Green and Ball State in the standings, by virtue of tiebreaker, 14 conference points for them. So definitely not an automatic win there either. But Ball State has a lot of wiggle room. They could go up pretty far, or they could drop a bit yet.
As you get a look there at the Water Tower, and also a look at the Stroh Center for Bowling Green, and a couple other areas here around Cochrane Stadium. Bowling Green trying to get a comeback, either point or get a comeback from victory here over the Cardinals and pass them in the standings and get a better draw in Columbus. So when we come back, we'll have a second half action here at Cochrane Stadium. The Cardinals from an Addie Chester goal is the difference. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to women's soccer right here on WBGU at PBS.
Founded in the Midwest, Bowling Green State University is embracing innovation to push the norms of higher education. Academic programs that are in high demand, research that is relevant for our communities, partnerships that strengthen our economy. Nationally recognized for our student experience and home to one of the largest scholarship programs of its kind in the nation. We are a hardworking public university, always striving forward, always for the public good.
a bold approach to engineering. At Bowling Green State University, our engineering degrees fuse the science of traditional engineering with technology and hands-on skills. This combination is what employers are looking for in the up-and-coming fields of robotics, advanced manufacturing, and systems engineering. It's why our graduates find jobs and why BGSU stands out. Don't just get a degree. Secure your future at BGSU.
If you missed this week's episode of Scenic Stops and Stories, you can stream the full episode for free anytime at WBGU.org/Scenic Stops.
Founded in the Midwest, Bowling Green State University is embracing innovation to push the norms of higher education. Academic programs that are in high demand, research that is relevant for our communities, partnerships that strengthen our economy. Nationally recognized for our student experience and home to one of the largest scholarship programs of its kind in the nation. We are a hardworking public university, always striving forward, always for the public good.
Ready for second half action here at Cochrane Stadium. Bowling Green and Ball State. Lucas Climber holding ruck alongside with you for the second half here on a rainy, wet day here in Northwest Ohio. The rain came down a little bit at halftime. Both teams went to their halftime tents, switched sides, and Bowling Green's got some work to do if they want to come back into this one.
Absolutely. You know, every point matters at this point in the MAC schedule, and it's going to be really important for them to, you know, try their best to, at least come out of this with 1 point, as has kind of been, one of their trademarks this year. But
so this is an interesting new kickoff that teams around the Premier League teams, professionally, both men's and women's, have been doing. To start kickoff, they just kind of punt the ball forward. And if you're Ellie Poole, you can't interfere with the center circle until they kick the ball. But I see what she's trying to do there. But regardless, this is
a little my bad there from Poole.
Yeah, but this something you see a lot of modern soccer, kind of just like want to pin the team deep in their own defensive half. So Caldwell will essentially just punt this one away, and they'll have some defending to do as the second half will start, and Taylor Green will get to start this second half after coming back off a sub. Ella Kane is back in for Bowling Green on that right wing, but seems to be the same starting 11 group for Chris Fox as he had to start the first outside of that one change.
I kind of like that approach. If you think that you have a good ability to put pressure on Bowling Green's defense, if you're Ball State, why not put them on the back foot, force them to just try to avoid giving up more goals and, limit their chances at offense.
Butera out to Searles, who's up forward. Nice through ball. Kane trying to get on it. Nice defending there from Isaacson. Trying to get out to Watkins. It's off her chest, and it'll be a throw in for the orange and brown. You look there from that far side. Searles gets it to Stransky again. Able to turn, puts the cross. It's blocked. So they'll do it again here. This time closer to the corner flag.
Falcons creeping closer to that box.
Nice throw in. Goes past the run of Stransky. Caldwell trying to head it up. It was just her and Chester up as outlets there for Ball State. When if you go back to Sunday, the goal from Bowling Green was a spot kick against Miami, and that didn't come until the final 8 minutes of the game. They spent majority of that second half down a goal. So it's key here to be patient here. They've shown that time and time again before the year started. They haven't, again, lost since August 17th of this year.
Yeah, the Falcons are a team that know they can get a result without rushing it. You know, they're built to play in these long games that are going to, you know, maybe only have a goal per side, maybe none. So they're definitely not pressing any panic buttons yet in this one.
Butero dropping back in between the two center backs. And if you look there from the outside your screen, Searles has made a run all the way up where the wingers are, just to provide some numbers. Here's Kane. Searles gets it back to Kane. Kane will cook across inside the box, looking for Stransky, and Palante will collect that one.
Palante slowing it down now, but an aggressive approach again pays off for the keeper for the Cardinals.
There's one there from Butera. Be a throw in for Ball State. Here's Sam in a one-on-one battle there with Caldwell, gets it out. Searles has it dispossessed. It should be called for the foul there. That time it's going to be on Watkins again. Seems to be up limping a little bit after that one. Redshirt freshman from Lawrenceburg, Indiana, didn't play last season but has appeared in every match this season.
Trying to jog it off a little bit. I mean, you can tell she's clearly hurting.
She scored her first goal against UMass a couple matches back. This one floated in, and Butera will head it out. Still not clear convincingly for Bowling Green, but Wolf on the fall through there. We caught on the foul and seems to be shaking up a little bit. Kind of a follow through there from a Cardinal attacker. Got a little bit there, Wolf there on that fall through. Here's Lamperty looking long. A little bit too far for Stransky. She'll get it right back. Stransky now inside the box on her left foot. Stransky, and a good save from Palante.
Just barely slipped out of Palante's hand after the save there, but no Falcons able to capitalize. Really good save there.
So it's an initial misjudge of the ball, but Stransky did really well to just pick up the loose touch there of a Cardinal defender there. Put a nice strike on frame, but Palante did well there to kind of come up big there and make a save. Here's Sam. Oliver will cycle it back to Green. And it feels like if a goal is going to come for Bowling Green in this second half, it is going to probably be from a direct play. We've seen that now a handful of times in the first half and now one here in the second. But their best chances have come from just kind of skipping the midfield there and playing direct to the feet of one of their front three.
Right, and they haven't displayed an incapability to find them against this Cardinals defense. You know, there's clearly opportunities, and it feels like, you know, one of these times it may break their way, as it almost has.
Stransky gets it into Kane in the box. Kane on her left foot gets to the pool and that puts a strike on frame there. I thought Kane was going to let it loose there on goal, but a shot target nonetheless for BG.
Yeah, I mean, good instinct there from Ellie Poole to just try to take a shot at it, but it did look like Kane was going to be the one putting the shot on target there.
This ball dies in the wind. Not even past center circle. It's one thing to factor as well. Not just the wet surface, but just the Bowling Green win is officially here. I don't think I really went away, but it's definitely a factor today.
Although that feels like the most significant we've seen it today for sure.
Yeah. Ball State's doing just a really good job of not letting Bowling Green kind of turn up to their goal, forcing them to play back. This one takes a bounce. Sam trying to crash on the second ball. This one might fall to Poole if she can keep this one in play. Indeed she can. Gets it around the Cardinal defender, but no one in an orange shirt around her. Good first touch there from Green. Oliver slides in. Buterra's got some time. It's to Green again. And kind of physical play there from Watkins forces it out of play for a Ball State throw, and much to the dismay, right in front of the Bowling Green bench. Be interesting to see here, Holden, if you're Ball State, how content are you with just a 1-goal lead in this half? And if it remains 1-0 as the half goes on, when is the right time for you to kind of just lock it down and fully park the bus?
Yeah, I mean, I think, if you're Ball State, the reputation this Bowling Green team has. You're not seeing a lot of those high-scoring affairs. You're seeing a lot of close games, 0-0, 1-1 results. So I think definitely in the early part of this half, you're going to look to make those opportunities.
Here's Watkins down the left side of Buterra. Nice sliding challenge there from the junior midfielder. It'd be a corner kick for the Cardinals.
But closing that thought, for the Cardinals, Bowling Green's not the most, dynamic, high-flying offense that you've seen this season, or certainly in the MAC. So I think, if you have your lead and you're getting into the waning, 20 minutes, you might start playing a little more conservative and defensively minded.
First header won there from Bowling Green. I believe that might have hit off our head official there, so we might have a drop ball right in front of the top of the 18. And you kind of see the pairing up there of Caldwell and Chester. 2 leading goal scorers for this Cardinals team, and one of the most prestigious players in all of the MAC with just their accolades and their statistics. And they've been one of the few that really pressure the back line of BG. But at times it's been Izzy Ross has come up sometimes, but it's mainly been those two.
And in a matchup like that with, premier players in the conference, it's got to be a time where if you're the Falcons, you're so glad to have Taylor Green on that back line, just kind of patiently, not exactly commanding the others, but, setting up their opportunities from the back line.
Trying to get Kane in behind the defense there. It's cleared out of play. And if you see that it's a lot of bodies there just by that corner flag. Is a handful of white and orange jerseys there. As this cross into the box, Palante again off her line to collect as Sam was making the late run inside the box.
Palante has been very, very strong today for the Cardinals. A lot of tightly contested, saves, a lot of bodies around her, but she's been very consistent.
Just very commanding. Has shown a lot of confidence and a lot of little things.
I half expected a slower approach there when Palante rolled the ball, but once again just kind of boots it as she has. But this time they actually keep it, which I feel like we haven't really seen.
And pretty, that one stays in play. Looking for Kane, got a touch around, trying to use her speed, and that one's just dealt with there from Isaacson. Sam Poole, trying to get the run of Wolf there, was just a little bit behind her. Clearance takes a deflection, but they'll get a throw out of it regardless.
Great opportunity for the Falcons there, having the Cardinals forcing it just out of bounds. able to keep pressing them with these throwing opportunities.
And that throw-in just will go out of play.
Definitely a nice break if you're Ball State there, you know, kind of reeling from the repeated attacks of the Falcons there.
Long goal kick there. It's met there first from Oliver. Kane was in there. Foul will be rewarded for BG. Thought about playing it quick. They'll let it just go to the foot of Butera. Butera, a long cross to the box, looking for Poole, and not much trouble there for Palante again.
Pressure in the face, but Palante very unfazed in the face of that one. And if you're Bowling Green here, you know, just over 32 minutes left, at what point do you start trying to be more aggressive here?
I would think you would start the second half with that mindset, but it kind of has been most of the same. You see a couple crosses there. I've been a little bit earlier than what they usually would take them. As O'Malley there under some pressure, Green, and just has to poke it out of play for a Ball State throw. And I think on the flip side of that hole, I think you're going to see the Cardinals just constantly get more and more aggressive and try to get that second goal.
Yeah, because, I mean, the type of ball that we've seen Bowling Green play, you know, if you're able to get that second goal, I mean, that very well might, you know, seal it for them at that point. So definitely important for the Falcons here.
Here is Chester, has a goal already this game. Caldwell takes about a strike on goal, and it's just a bit over the bar of O'Malley there. That was a little bit of dangerous moments, but all she needs is just a half a yard, half an inch of space there, and she can make something happen.
Definitely a nice look there as you see it again, just over a bit.
Here's Green again. Pass cut off there from Ball State. Well, if you want an example of the field conditions there, they just try to roll the ball to Searles and it just stops midway through.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it on the goal earlier. Clearly, you know, not the only factor, but a significant factor in today's game.
Lamprey looking for the run on the back post of Kane, and that's not trouble there for Palante. Looks like Emily Roper might be coming back in for Ball State. Saw slippage there in the middle. Oliver has it down looking for Kane. Nice move there from Searles. Closed down by a couple of Cardinals, and now here comes an attack and with some speed here back the other way for Ball State. Lamprey will just deal with it. It'll be a throw in here from that far side near the corner flag as we have a couple Cardinals coming back in. It is Roper who will be back in play. And also Furno will come in. Caldwell will get a breather, and Lexi Watkins will be there coming out for head coach Annie Stutz.
And Furno, the other sub there, notably the game-winning scorer in Ball State's game against Toledo earlier this past week.
That's what chested down and blocked off of Furno. Searles trying to get out of danger there. They'll get out to Green. Strancy trying to touch that one. A little bit of a late collision there. No harm done. And you got to give credit to Hearn, Monaco, Gillian, and Furberg. The entire Ball State defense has been on lockdown this game, and they've done a really good job of defending their 18-yard box and not really letting Bowling Green get any sort of space inside the 18 for that matter.
No, I mean, any opportunities the Falcons have had in that space have been very tightly contested, and I mean, that's, you know, directly why they've got 0 on the board so far.
This one net there from Sam. Kane going to track it down, but no harm there from Palente. This one skied up into the cloudy overcast Bowling Green weather. Got 3 Bowling Green players getting ready to come in at a moment's notice. Does look like it's Mazzaferro and Lizzie Boltnick. We'll get a look at who the third one is. Stransky checking that one down, out of play, and be the third sub coming in. Will be Mazzaferro back in. And have Michelle Hochstadt, who will be back in play, getting her first minutes of this one in for Sam. And for the first time this afternoon, we're seeing Lizzie Boltnick. Mazzaferro looking for Boltnick. Kane on the end of that pass. Oliver. Here's Wolf. And pretty challenge there from Roper to win back the ball. And gets Ball State out of danger. Now a chance to break here. Here's Ross. Ross not trying to get around Green. Green will cut it off. O'Malley. Cleared out, and Taylor Green was fouled there from behind the play. So Bowling Green survives there what would look to be a promising Ball State counterattack.
Yeah, definitely a scary moment there for the Falcons. You know, very largely uncontested as the ball got back there, but the foul ultimately stifling their efforts there.
That one just a little too far there from Searles. As Chester will get a breather. And coming back into play is Velo for Ball State.
And it feels like a good time. You know, Bowling Green hasn't really changed up their approach too much yet. You know, give Chester a breather. Ball State doesn't need to score another goal yet to secure points. So, I mean, makes a lot of sense there.
Well, the way this game has kind of gone, a second goal could be monstrous for Ball State, but a game-time goal could be saving for Bowling Green. It really feels like just the way the chances have gone, the next goal might be really big in this one as Kane gets out to the run of Mazzaferro. Cross float in the box looking for the direction of Boltnick. It's chested down from Palente, who I would have to imagine was trying to waste a little bit of time there, but does well to cover up nonetheless.
And very patient in putting the ball back into play. Palente has been this entire game.
Oliver, Butera. Out pass is cut off once again here from Ball State. This is Isaacson making a long run forward. Green has to cut it off and does well. But we've seen that a couple of times from Isaacson. He's made a run all the way up from her defensive position. Trying to get Ball State out of trouble and try to provide a spark. This one under the foot of Searles, but it'll go out of play.
Kind of got away with one there, it felt like, for the Falcons. Definitely could have been a costly miss there on the reception, but
Lamperty, left side Wolf. Trying to give and go with Kane. Kane did really well there to create some space with Wolf. Just couldn't get a touch through. It's one back here for Ball State. Nice challenge to win back the ball. Again, Lamperty stepping in the midfield. Was a midfielder a little bit at West Virginia. Here's Hochstadt going to try her luck from long range, and a save there covered up there from Palante, and kind of an ambitious attempt there from Hochstadt.
Yeah, I think definitely for the Falcons right now, if one of their players sees a look that they like, they want to start putting some more shots up. You're getting in dangerous territory here, still down 1-0. But at the same time, you do have to question a little bit, compared to the kinds of looks that they've been setting up, what Hochstadt's seeing on that one.
There's Searles looking for Mazzaferro, bumped up the ball. Roper over the top looking for Velo, and she is offsides. Was the last attacker up for Ball State. Last defender was Lamperty, but just behind her man. Wolf trying to find the Kane. It's cleared away.
Falcons still taking their time on the attack, but it definitely feels like they're pushing their pace a little faster, moving the ball from their defensive lineup now.
Well, then again, you see the surface there, a little bit of throw-in. That just skips out of bounds and stops. And it's what could have been a promising attack for Bowling Green.
It's a tough thing for them to gauge, especially with the lack of, games that have been in poor conditions such as today.
Searles' clearance is blocked. Trying to find this through ball here for Monaco. Wolf will play it back to O'Malley. O'Malley gets it back to Wolf. Oliver, nice one-touch play here from Bowling Green. Kane keeps it to Wolf. Tries the back kill, doesn't work out. Gives it to Oliver. Mazzaferro looking to get the Searles, and that pass just behind her. Roper comes away with it. Here's Velo. Velo trying to get by Green, sliding challenge. Didn't get all the ball. Velo enters the box. And then finally just dealt with the weather by Mazzaferro, who came back defensively to help out. Ferno. Kind of a tricky left winger on that far side. Haven't seen a whole lot of her. She'll get this one back. Heavy first touch. Turned over to Mazzaferro and Bowling Green.
32 is going to go up at 24 for
Bowling Green not out of the woods yet as Ball State stays relentless on this attack.
This one headed back to the direction of Roper, and that one just looked too strong, and O'Malley says enough is enough. Let me collect it.
Falcons still taking their time here.
Butera looking long again, this time for Boltnick. It's off the heels of a Cardinal. Mazzaferro. Boltnick trying to help out. That's really good defending and patience there for Ball State. Rostow gives it away, and I'll play for a throw-in.
What a great job by the Cardinals there, though. Not just, giving up the opening right there in kind of a 2-on-1 situation.
So an interesting potential tactical switch here for Fox. Poole comes in, normally a forward out for defender Wolf. So it might be a switch to a back three for Fox. We'll see. And you see that might be the case there. They have Searles, Butera Green and Lamperty. We saw Butera play center back last Sunday. In the box. Not cleared cleanly. Kane will get on this one side, the 18. And a great tackle and a great clearance there from Ross.
Great opportunity right in the middle of the box there for the Falcons, but nothing to show for it yet.
Given away there from Poole. And one back here for Ball State. Roper looking to get on it. It's intercepted there from Lamperty. Here's Boltnick. A lot of white shirts around her. They get out. Roper trying to flick it past Lamperty. It's not off cleanly. Oliver stuck with it in the midfield. Trying to get out to Kane, and a couple of big bounces makes it go out of play.
Not a play, but good job by Ellie Poole there, getting Audrey Oliver the chance by kind of cutting in there.
11, we got to go in for 13 for BG.
Might have another change for BG this second half. Quinn O'Neill might be getting her first minutes. And then this one, here's Hochstadt. Trying to make something happen. And just ran out of room there on that far side. Right into the chest of Roper. Cleared all the way out. Lamperty will chase this one.
And Roper had about 3 Falcons around her there, but still able to clear it out there. Nice work from the veteran.
Chapman's going to go with 28 for Ball State.
28 Thank you.
Lamperty looking to switch this one long again, and that one is just a bit too strong, but Palente has read these long balls all afternoon from Bowling Green.
Yeah, it's been an area where, you know, it might be easier to catch a keeper, especially one who doesn't have as many starts to their name, off guard. But
And that one is not hit with the power or the precision as Palente's want. Clearance is blocked off the foot of Boltnick, and that was a little bit interesting there from Palente. We'll see if there was something else in it. Green. Hochstadt again. We'll switch the play. Searles and Mazzaferro. Here is Mazzaferro. Earns a BG throw in. And both subs will come in. Chester will come back in for Velo. And for the first time this game, the freshman Quinn O'Neill will come in for Ella Kane.
and what a big-time situation to make your first appearance here. 15 minutes left in a really important conference matchup, just down one. It'll be interesting to see what she can contribute here.
Another foul, this time awarded for Bowling Green. They're going to make this a free kick and get numbers up inside the box and potentially find a game-tying goal.
Huge opportunity here for the Falcons.
You have Hochstadt and Butera, but I have a hard time it being anybody but Butera over this one. Who will it be? It will be Hochstadt. Floats one in the box. Roper rising above everyone to get that one. Oliver slides in front of the grass. Green tries to put it back in play. A redirect is blocked. Hochstadt gets out to Butera. Just a bit too strong. Mazzaferro trying to track it down and just couldn't do so. That's a good defensive play. They're just shielding Mazzaferro off. It'll be a goal kick.
Tough break there for the Falcons. You know, the ball kind of just coming into the box at a steep angle and fairly easy to keep to the outside of it for the Cardinals there. Definitely an opportunity that the Falcons would have liked to capitalize on with, 13 and a half minutes to go.
Here's Poole. Heads it down in the direction of O'Neill. And so much speed up top for Bowling Green now with O'Neal, Boltnick, Mazzaferro.
Started 12 for 7.
This one floated back in play.
Okay, thank you. 12 for 7.
Hochstadt, sliding challenge, and that's going to be an easy one. Didn't get any ball on that challenge. Get Green up for that one, and wins the second, and she'll be fouled. And I'll tell you what, she's been back her first game in a few weeks, and she has not skipped a beat in terms of just aggressive and ability to read balls coming inside the back line.
Absolutely. You know, it's a contribution to the team that you would think they haven't missed too sorely in this unbeaten streak they've had entering this game. But, I mean, even so, her contributions are clearly felt on both ends of the pitch.
13-match unbeaten streak. It is at stake here for Bowling Green. Haven't lost in Mid-American Conference play, yet they find themselves in those last couple spots. Again, with the tournament first year being at historic Crew Stadium in Columbus, there isn't home field advantage, but their seeding implications, matchups are better depending on who you play, as Watkins will come back and play. Furno will check out.
Yeah, and I mean, when you look at the likes of the top of the Mid-American Conference, Western Michigan, Buffalo, you know, if you can avoid drawing those teams first in a tournament appearance, I mean, that's obviously going to be your ideal situation.
Be a throw in here outside the Cardinal bench. And even now with these balls that go out of play for throw-ins, goal kicks, every second is valuable. And if you're Ball State, you're going to take all the time you want in the world on these.
Absolutely. We talked about it earlier, and, you know, now you're at the point at Ball State, you know, another goal would seemingly seal it. But right now, you know, every second that you waste is going to be worth your time.
I mean, you're at the point now that if this result does hold, if you're Fox, you got to be left frustrated a little bit, as we'll get Kane, Stransky, and Sam back in the play of Mazzaferro. Boltnick and Hochstadt will come out. If you look at some of the games you've tied this year, especially with the amount of draws you've had, you go back to Miami last week, and, you know, Kane hitting the post at the end of the game, if, you know, if that one goes in, that's 2 more points you should have. And if you look at this one, you know, a slippage in the back, and that's the difference. That's 3 points dropped. And that the margins are so slim in the MAC, and Fox harps on this all the time. And his press conferences, every game is really tough, and the margins are very slim. And people say all the time in the MAC, but that is a true thing, and it's been on display all conference play long.
Well, it's even evident in a team like Bowling Green not having yet taken a loss in MAC play, but still barely being on the inside of that tournament picture if the season were to end today. And I think it's very telling about just how important it is to get the wins when they can find them.
So see if there's maybe some late match magic here at Cochrane for a second straight home game. There's only one more home game left. That's next Sunday against Akron on Senior Day. Or we should call it Emily Holler Day. Let's see if there's another goal in this one for Bowling Green. Here's O'Neal. And we're in a foul, and actually a really good set piece opportunity here for BG here on 10 minutes play.
And we talked about wondering how she might be able to impact the game, setting up a huge opportunity in these waning minutes here. Could be big for the Falcons.
It was foul. It's free kick, so no. It's just a free kick. I think they said it at the corner, but it's not a corner kick.
So think of it as like a corner kick, but just shorter. You know, beyond the right foot of Emmy Butera, and give everybody up for Bowling Green. The farthest player back is Searles right outside your screen there. There's nobody up here for Ball State. Butera floated to the back post, and they'll do it again. Not quite sure what this one was. Don't know if he blew his second whistle, maybe, for the play resume. But now he did. Here's Butera again, floated to the back post, looking for O'Neal. Couldn't redirect one on frame, and now Ball State has a chance here to counter. And this is the speed here of Addie Chester. Poole going to just drag her down, and that's going to be a card of some sort. What color will it be? We'll find out. And it will just be yellow for Poole, stopping a promising counterattack.
Cardinals fans in the stands clamoring for that one, but does stop the offensive push for the Cardinals.
And lucky for Poole, if she was the last defender back, it would have been red. But because she was one of the last defenders, it was just yellow. And it might end up being a smart foul, we'll see. As his free kick set into the box looking for Roper. Cleared right to the top of the box to Chester, who puts a shot that forces O'Malley to make a save diving to her right.
A nice save by O'Malley, who really hasn't had her name called a whole lot today.
Just under 8 minutes to go here. Time running out here for Fox's Falcons. Lamprey to Kane. Runs right by to Searles. One-time cross along the box looking for Stransky. That shot is blocked. Still alive for Kane. It's blocked again. Falls to Poole. It's blocked the third time. O'Neal's still with it. And Poole hooking this one in the back corner. And Searles trying to head that one back to Stransky. 3 straight blocks there from Ball State to keep it 1-0.
Falcons saving some fireworks for the finishing minutes of this one here, but not quite able to connect. A lot of chances there.
And 3 different Cardinals, they're getting on the action. They're putting their buys on the line. That just shows you the defensive tenacity of this team, and a team that's had quite a few shutouts this season, but also a team that knows how important these 3 points are.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, a team that's had several shutouts, like you said, you can clearly see why in sequences like that.
Searles getting stuck in a challenge there on that far side. Be a throw-in for Ball State. And sliding challenge through from Roper. Able to win back the ball. And you got to think that free kick there from Ball State. If Chester could have found a second goal there, probably would have put this one to bed.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the way the Falcons haven't been able to connect yet, it's hard to think that they'd be able to find 2 in that span as they look for 1 right now.
Yeah, miss hit there from Verberg. Oliver gets his Poole off the knees of Stransky. Sliding challenge, and Stransky landed on her head on that fall through. That was Fiona Killian on that one. They'll stop the clock here as we'll get a second look. Ooh.
Oof. Hard landing for Stransky.
And she's still down here, and Stransky's one of the most physical players on this team, and looks like a card will be shown to Killian, I believe. And indeed it will. So the first caution for Ball State. And I think it wasn't more so the challenge. I mean, the challenge was a foul, but the landing Stransky took there is what the more concern might be.
Absolutely. I mean, she's still clearly in a lot of pain. You know, difficulty moving in what looks like her neck area.
And she seems to be all right.
Reassuring sign for all to see her walking off, but a tough break for the Falcons.
So she'll jog off. So they'll play with 10 for a moment, and anything that involves the neck or head or anything from that region, they're going to have to take them off the field because of that concussion, because how big concussions have been on the topic of both men's and women's soccer.
Absolutely. I mean, even if it's just not actually even if it's not an actual concussion, you know, the protocol for that. I mean, you have to absolutely have to look into that.
So we have a free kick here from almost midfield from Butera. Header one there from Roper. Butera will take a strike on, well, trying to get it on frame, and it just rolls to the left side of the goal. There's about 5 minutes left here, Holden. I think at this point in this match, you're probably just looking at dumping balls in the box, being as direct as possible. No, Bowling Green's identity is possession with purpose and breaking it down, but you're at the point in the match where you're going to have to just put some stuff in and hopefully get a lucky bounce or something can happen.
Yeah, I mean, you just don't have time to not be taking shots, you know. If you're taking a minute to try to set up, you know, one attempt, you're only going to have so many chances to even get the ball near the box by the time this one's done, so. It's definitely an aggressive approach that the Falcons need to adopt here if they're going to have a chance to equalize.
Searles comes out. Emily Holler will come in for Bowling Green for this final 5 minutes. Another attacker. Butera lofting it for Stransky. Falls down to O'Neal inside the box. Can turn if she possibly could. It's clearance. Could have had the run of Poole there, but Ball State deals with it away. That found right to the foot of the freshman. Here's Poole. Sliding challenge again. Throwing BG. It's a good tackle from Monaco.
And a good job not fouling there by Monaco, as he said.
Lamperty, that cross takes deflection off the back of Chester. Holler trying to get it back into play. Roper trying to be an outlet, but it looks like now for Ball State they're putting all 10 field players back. Poole crossing the box, looking for Stransky. It falls to top 18. Just hopelessly clearing that one away there for Ball State, and Poole fouls on a yellow. That was a foul on Chester. We'll take another look at it.
And right there, I mean, you could pretty clearly see the impact there on Chester, and Ball State fans here in the stands not happy about that one.
Butera. Getting that one, and I think the game plan now is Butera, Lamperty, and even Green just dump balls inside the box. Butera was looking for O'Neal. There's no midfield really from either side, as Green has to come up and get it. Stransky bumped off the ball. That was Killian trying to kill the play and gets it out of bounds.
And just 2.5 minutes here remaining in this one. Got to keep the motion going for the Falcons here.
We'll see if there's a last-minute equalizer here for Bowling Green. Green's pass takes it a couple bounces. That was O'Neal running onto it, but Palente will cover it up.
Palente, unafraid, is always getting in the way there. Really in need of some last-minute magic here for the Falcons.
Palente gets it up to Roper. It's off of Sam. It's a Ball State throw. Header from Chester just goes right to Green, and under 2 minutes now. Time is running out. Here's Poole. She'll cross this one in the box. It's headed up, looking for Stransky. Sam. That cleared. Oliver take a strike on goal. That's blocked. Chester will come back and clear it away. That was a great opportunity there from BG. And Green's on a one-on-one here with Roper. O'Malley will come way off her line and just play it short to Lamperty.
Falcons able to keep it back in the Cardinal half.
That one takes a weird flick off of the Hearn. We'll dump it off again. Green has a lot of running to do.
1 minute to play.
Down to a minute. A program record 13 matches unbeaten. Might come to an end here in Bowling Green if they can't find a last-minute equalizer. And kind of just push up the ball there from Butera. And a foul's going to be called there on Watkins. And it's kind of a late shove there off the ball. They'll stop the play. And it'll be a card for Watkins saying, hey, she grabbed my jersey first. So this is possibly a big opportunity here for Bowling Green. 39 seconds left.
Yeah, I mean, whatever your best look is here, if you're the Falcons, I mean, you got to have it here. You can't count on having, any other opportunities after this. 39 seconds left here.
So this will be on the foot of Butera to possibly save a point here for the orange and brown. Here's Butera flatted into the box. Palente just punches it away. It's going to fall as far as Oliver, and she just couldn't keep her shot down. And that might do it.
Smart play by Palente there, just clearing it out of the box. No need to worry about bobbling it. Just get the ball out of there. And Cardinals following up quick forces Audrey Oliver to just put it over the net. Really well defended there.
So down to 11 seconds left, and that one just pumped out of play.
7, 6, 5, 4,
They'll throw it in to Poole, and I think they were hoping for a clock to stop with 2 balls on the field. It won't happen, and the historic unbeaten streak finally comes to an end for Bowling Green. They suffer their first MAC loss of the season and their first since mid-August as they fall to Ball State 1-0.
And now the rest of this road in the Mid-American Conference gets a little bit trickier for the Falcons. You've got some absolutely winnable games, but you look ahead to the number 2 seeded currently Buffalo, at Buffalo coming up for them. Definitely going to be a tough one. And, if things don't go the Falcons' way down the stretch, this is going to be one that you look back at as, a missed opportunity where you really could have gotten some critical points.
So a goal in the first half from Addie Chester off an advantage of a little bit of wet and windy conditions is the difference as the Cardinals get some breathing room over Bowling Green. That's going to do it for our broadcast here. For my broadcast partner Holden Ruck, I'm Lucas Kleinmar saying so long. Final score, Ball State 1, Bowling Green 0.